Hello and welcome to a video on Git. In this video, we're going to learn a couple of tips that can help make your make Git a little more useful for you. Right now, it might seem like just some tool that I'm forcing you to use, but actually it provides a lot of benefit for developers. And in this video, we're going to just start taking a look at some things that are kind of useful. So we're going to start first by looking at this Hello World program that I've been playing with under in my code Hello C++ folder. And I'm going to show you a command, git diff. And what that does here is it prints the difference between my current program and my last committed version of this program. And you can see it didn't print anything, which tells me that my current program exactly matches the most recently committed version of it that was put into my local repository. So I'm going to make a change here. And then I'll save that, and if you take a look, and if I run git diff again, it shows us, let's make this a little bigger so we can see it. It shows us exactly what has changed. There's a little plus here that shows you this line was added. And just let me go back and do that again. Here it's kind of stuck because there's no more room in the console. When you see this happen, you can hit the space bar to see the rest. And then if it says end, you hit Q to exit out, okay? So it shows me the difference between my current program and the code stored in the most recently committed version of this code in the local repository. And that can be really helpful. Imagine you're programming along and you can't remember what you changed, and there's some funny things going on, some kind of a bug, and you want to see what you've changed most recently in your working folder. So you do a git diff and it shows you, well, you added this line, okay? That's really helpful. The next thing is, suppose you've been programming along and you've made a number of changes. Let's make a couple more. And let's make one more change here at the top, just for more fun. Okay, and if I do git diff, you can see now there's going to be a lot more changes here. And I've been doing this to try and get my program to work. And I realize that I've spent a lot of time working on this and it's still not working, and I'm totally confused, and I feel like I've made a mess of my program. And I'm asking myself, wouldn't it be really cool if I could go back to the previous version and start over again? You know, maybe this is for one of your assignments and you currently have a 6 out of 10 and you were trying to get a 10 out of 10, and now your code is getting a 1 out of 10 and you don't know why. You screwed it all up. And you want to go back to the most recent one you committed, because you know that one works and gives you 6 points. You can do that in GitHub very easily. It's easy to go back to a previous version, the most recently committed version of your code, which will overwrite your current working thing, the current working version of your program that you've been working on. So how do you do that? Well, you do it with git checkout, and the name of the file that you want to get, in this case, main.cpp. So this is saying, you know what, check out main.cpp and have it override my program that I have changes in. And before I do that, let's just do a git status. So this tells you that you have modified this file, okay? And I'm going to go git checkout, and I'm going to do main.cpp. And that should get me the newest version. If you keep your eyes up here, after I hit enter, you should see it be restored to the previous version. Bingo. Pretty cool. So now if I do a git status, you'll see that there is nothing changed. And that's because it restored it to what was currently checked in. And this is a great way to, it's a reset button, right? Help, help, I screwed everything up. Give me the best version that I have. And this does that for you. Okay, the last thing I want to show you here is, suppose now we figure out the right change to make, and we make that change to our code, and now we're getting a perfect score, 10 out of 10, and we want to commit this, so we do a git add -- all, and a git status, and you'll see now it is in there, and it's green because it's in the staging. When I do an add, it adds it to the staging section, and it's ready to be committed, changes to be committed. So I'm ready to do that, and then I realized, you know what, I changed my mind. I don't really want to do this. And you can undo anything you put in your staging area by doing a git reset. and the name of the file, main.cpp. And this will remove it from the staging area. Okay, so now if I do a git status, you'll see it's now red, meaning it's changed, but it has not been added to the staging area. Okay, quick summary of what we learned. The first was git diff, which tells you the difference between a file and the same a version of that file that is currently in the repository. Let me rephrase that. Git diff tells you the difference between the file that you're currently editing and the most recent version that had been checked in that file in your local repository. Git checkout will check out the most recently committed version of a file and override your local version of that. That's a great reset button if you want to restore your file back to what it was the last time you committed it. And finally, git reset can be used to take something that you put in your staging area using git add, but haven't committed yet, and you don't want it in the staging area anymore. You can use git reset to take that out of the staging area. All right, remember these tools, especially diff and checkout. They can be very useful when you are programming.